Okay, so I'm going to put this number in, and here it's found our INAT. So just
Right.
because we're
It's in
recording now, I'll just
it's
show
in batch
everybody.
one.
Pardon?
It's in batch one.
Okay. Batch one. I'd be surprised, really.
I think I think it was.
Okay. Well, regardless, so we've got this chanterelle. It's got 9 associated sequences, and it wasn't able to be auto-validated, which is unsurprising. So let me just close everything I have over here so that I can get all these blasts ready.
So one question I have is if we aren't using the spreadsheet anymore, do we just go in randomly and pick them out?
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much. Okay, so let's see what we got. I'm gonna just start. So I'm recording this to sort of show an example of how I would deal with something that has so many associated sequences. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just go through all these blast searches and see if there's one that stands out as having the most reads in consensus. 25 is pretty low. 64 is a bit better. But actually, okay,
One of those was 2606 reads. Did you see that?
no, hold on. We'll go through all of them. So, this one I can tell right away is a contaminant. So, we know what our target is. This isn't like some mystery mushroom, some mystery crust. This is a chanterelle. So right away when I see penicillium, uh,
Yes.
like artemia, fungi, we're getting Cortinaria,
Yep.
Tricholoma, Fomitopsis. This is some sort of contaminant that it's interesting that it has like 100% match on all these things,
I
but this was
know.
something that was like a contaminant on all these different mushrooms, something that was growing on all these different mushrooms, presumably. Who knows really, but we know this is not target. So I am going to note down this is sequence 043. It has 64 reads, and I bet you it will have marked it non-target for me. So here's the sequence 04364 non-target. There's an algorithm now that knows it can recognize things being non-target and mark them as this. So let's close that one. We definitely don't want that one. Um, this one, 84 reads. Doesn't look good either. Anosogby, like trichoderma, lepista, chlorophyllum. These are all validated. So these are all things that have already been ID'd as this, but they had another associated sequence that all these things had, including ours. Um, this 84 read one is definitely a contaminant. It's already been marked as non-target. That's what we want. I'm going to close this. 6 reads, not super promising and looks bad. Again, we're seeing IDs of fungi just all over the map. There's no consistency in the genus and family. We know we're looking for a chanterelle. And also, like, yeah, there's not even a ton of good matches, but even if actually there are at the top, it doesn't matter because, the only chanterelle we see in this list is ours, which is purple. This is also obviously a contaminant. So our next one, 6 reads. It's already been marked as non-target. I'm sort of just checking that it's doing what it's supposed to at this point.
Some of these look like they're multiple purples if you
Yeah,
scroll slowly.
that's because we have nine sequences.
Oh,
So
I see.
any of
Okay.
ours that like match each other will come up in each other's blast searches, and then
Yeah, yeah.
they'll
Yeah.
both be purple. But yeah,
Okay.
good catch. So
Is
this
that
one looks bad. It's a contaminant. We've got good matches, but again, all over the map, no consistency, especially when you start to see things like this. Like, we kind of know we're in contaminant world. In fact, we might actually have something in this genus. Um, but yeah, it looks like we do, but we don't have our chanterelle. So let's leave this for now and make
so
sure 94 reads was marked as non-target. Yeah.
so when you say this one, you meant that this blast has that, although there's a lot of sequences in there, this blast has the same problem.
Like when doing away with it, it's that sequence. So the record had 9 sequences associated with it, and we're weeding through them and trying to discern if any of them are on target. And so far, no.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one, 5 reads, not promising, already looks bad. Russula, hypomyces, scleroderma, like we're done. Not good. It's already been marked non-target. I have a feeling they're all going to be non-target. 69 reads, Ophiocordyceps right off the bat. Looks bad, keep scrolling, looks horrible. Um, if I look at GenBank, it's just going to be the same uncultured fungus. Like these are all just contaminants. Um, where are we? Non-target, it already knows. 37 reads. Non-target, looks the same. Inosybe, Mycena, Chlorophyllum. Okay, so we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Non-target. 5 reads right away. Penicillium, non-target. Okay, what was the first one that I ignored because it was kind of low? Uh, non-target. All right. So we had 9 sequences and 0 of them are on target. So we've done our due diligence now. We've marked all of them as non-target. So all we need to do in this case is we press this to verify, but then we press it again so that it turns into a red X. And that marks to Stephen that we want to have this rerun. We'll try one more time. And then the other thing that I do is I just go sequence failed marked for a rerun. That way, like John's collected 2,000 things. He's not going to miss this sequence. But in the case that, somebody collected 10 things and they get everything back except one, and they're like, where did this go? They just get a little note that, hey, we looked at this, it didn't work. We're going to try again. So in that case, this one's done.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not a you problem with this one. It's a sequence problem for sure.
No, but the one thing I was noticing is each of those blasts, it showed itself, and it showed itself and matching itself all the way through.
Yeah, it'll match itself every time, but it's
Yeah.
itself in this case is not the chanterelle, it's the contaminant
Yes.
that
Okay.
came with the chanterelle somehow.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is just like classic contaminant blast results, especially when you just start seeing fungi and stuff like this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
uh,
that's sort of what I figured. But
yeah,
I like chanterelle, so I didn't want to mess it up.
totally. Um, did you have another one you had a question about, Donna?
Yeah, I'll bring it up.
I just want to ask one question. You see, never mind. It's okay. All gone. I was just curious about seeing 2602 reads in common there on one of the listings.
Reads in consensus?
Yeah, for that chanterelle.
I didn't see anywhere that it said 2602. I see 25, 64, 84, 6, 94, 5, 69, 37, and 5 when I look at it.
Okay, that was weird.
Yeah.
There is one with an inordinately large number of reads in consensus.
Uh, I don't remember seeing that, but maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Maybe just go back to it.
Um, Donna's screen sharing now, so
Okay.
I just went and looked at it myself and I don't see it. The read in consensus should like we'll never really see anything above 300. I normally very rarely see anything. Pretty much 200 is the highest I normally see.
Okay. I'll look up myself later and then I'll share the screenshot with you.
Okay, yeah, if you find it.
Yeah.
When I tried to duplicate it, I don't see it.
Laura.
Yeah.
One thing that would be nice to have, just a couple things that when we go on mycomap.org site, we have to find the query box to put in the INAT number.
Hmm.
Uh, that query box, sometimes my eyes have trouble locating it. If it could be somehow enhanced, so we go right to that, because that's the most common place we go to, right? The
When
second,
using the spreadsheet, yeah, but when we're not using the spreadsheet, I think we'll almost never use that box.
okay. And the other thing is, it would be nice in that box to have a drop down of previous searches.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So in other words, if we all of a sudden we think, oh, I forgot to validate that last one.
right.
Do you see what I mean? We could immediately go back to it.
Yeah, I'm typing that up right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because the thing is, so if we're not using the spreadsheet, what I've been doing is I've been validating by species or genus. So what I've been doing is I search Russula, and then I look at all the Russulas and I pick one that when I'm just checking the auto validation and there's already a name on them, I can see like, okay, we have like 12 Russula Americas in this list of Russulas. So I look
Mhm.
at the blast searches for one of them. I read Danny's
Mhm.
notes. I sort of make sure I feel good about the Russula Medica ID. And then I basically validate all of the auto validations for that species and paste the same
Uh,
comment into all of them. And
right.
that's why I have been doing so many is like I did like 50 an hour because
Yeah.
it's like 20 of the same species in a row. And then it's like, you don't have to re-look up anything. It's just
Good,
copy paste. You get through a ton. It's way more efficient. Um,
yeah, good point.
yeah. Especially when John's collected 12 of the same Lactarius. It's like, boom.
Yes, I've found myself going back many times and finding my previous IDs for him and just copying them.
Yeah.
So this one here, this is the one I was curious about because it shows it was auto-validated. It's got Steve Knievel, and then it did that, and then J. Dwayne Sept indicated that it is sequenced. But and I had gone in here, I searched, but it doesn't seem to be coming up at all now. So if I put that code in here, that's that
Yeah.
INAT number. And search,
That's probably because it's assessed.
yes.
So you have a filter to not assess, so that could be why. So if you change your status in the status filters, bring that back up.
Oh,
If you go down, do you see where it says status?
oh yes, yeah.
Put that to all statuses.
Okay.
That would be the first step to try to find it. Um, Nothing. So there are a small percentage, I will say, 1% of records that for some reason I can't capture into the Micromap BC project. So it's just a bug, and it's a bug on the old site, and I don't know how to fix it. And there's nothing I can do to capture them. Basically,
Okay.
I try to pull them in geographically and it misses a certain amount every time. So this could be a record that if it's really not coming up, let's see, 317021203.
Yeah, that's I originally found it.
37021.
I
Oh,
originally
I
found it
forgot
here,
what it's
and it
203.
and it was in a BC batch.
It comes up for me.
I
So
don't
I
know.
think it might be sometimes the filters kind of get stuck. Um,
Okay, do you want to take a look at that? Then I'll stop my share, and if you want to step through that one too, it'd be great.
yeah, sometimes I find the filters, like if you had not assessed on, you have to refresh the
Okay.
page. I'll put a note about that. Sometimes filters get stuck, i.e. you turn off not assessed.
Oh, and you're still recording, Laura. You might want to turn off the recording for the other one,
It's
unless
all
you want
good.
to keep it
It's
recording.
okay. I think I'll
Yeah.
stop it. I'm gonna cut it after we looked at that
Okay.
uh
Well, it might be good.
contaminant. I just
Might be
can't
good.
turn it off now that it's
Yeah.
here. I have to stop screen sharing.